Okay, so good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. And the topic of my research is inductive approach to introducing grade 5 students to formal writing in English to develop their writing skills. And this research was carried out as my diploma paper. And before I proceed with my presentation, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to my advisor, Evia Latkovska, for immense support during the process. So, we all know that school year 2020-2021 has been quite interesting and challenging, and it has been challenging because of various reasons. And one of those reasons, of course, is a distant learning period, but another is introduction of a competency-based approach in schools in Latvia. And although we know that English teachers didn't change much planning their lessons because of competency-based approach, there are still some changes that affected also us. And one of those changes is reduced number of English lessons per curricula. And well, it was explained that English is widely spread language and students have opportunities to learn it outside the classroom. And we know that they also do it. The skills that they develop, it's listening while they play their computer games. Also, in some cases, it's speaking. Also reading, but the skills that the majority of them do not work on, at least if we speak about spelling, observing spelling rules and thinking about text cohesion and coherence, it's writing. And in many cases, students see writing as a grammatical exercise, especially if we speak about grade 5 students, because mainly they have used writing to do or practice grammar constructions. And that's why the aim of the paper is to discover how an inductive approach to introducing grade 5 students to formal writing in English can develop their writing skills. And the reason why I chose an inductive approach is because it supports a competency-based approach, and both of them focus on asking and answering questions to provide deeper learning, to question the certainty of the knowledge, to promote importance of critical thinking and develop self-directed learning skills. But most importantly, both inductive approach and a competency-based approach involve students in the process of discovery. And well, my paper has structure, of course, and the basis, the first and second chapter deals with theoretical literature analysis. However, the most important is the third chapter, that is also the most interesting, and it describes a case study. It illustrates and analyzes the results, compares them, and describes how an inductive approach helps to improve students' writing skills in English. A questionnaire and analysis of students' written work were chosen as data collection methods. And before I start to tell you more about the case study, I want to mention a bit more about the inductive approach. So we already I already mentioned that it focuses on promoting deep learning, and it's nothing new. Like the first time it was mentioned, it was in the 17th century, and it represents the learner-centered method and focuses on asking and answering questions. And the inductive approach includes various methodologies: inquiry learning, problem-based learning, project-based learning, and there are different types of project-based learning. A hybrid problem, project-based approaches, case-based teaching, just-in-time teaching, and discovery learning. And of course, it is very important that young teachers, but especially young teachers as I am, that we take in consideration students' age, abilities, and experience. And that's another reason why the inductive approach was very useful and suitable for carrying out this case study, as it offers several levels of complicatedness. So, and taking in consideration that this was the first time my students was exposed to the inductive approach, and we used inquiry learning, project-based learning, focusing on task project and just-in-time teaching in the process. So, speaking about the case study, it was conducted in 3 stages in 3 parallel 5th grades. So 37 students between the ages from 11 to 12 participated in the case study. And in the first stage, students' attention was raised to the importance of developing their text organizational skills, at the same time focusing on task achievement. And here, inquiry learning, where students had to answer questions by comparing and analyzing 2 texts, were used as methodology. Well, the most important task of this first stage was to raise students' attention to the fact that writing, the same way as speaking, is a way of communication, not just a tool to do grammar exercise. And then in the second stage, students had to do a task project. Project is the easiest of project types, as the framework of the project is already given. They just have to follow instructions and do the work. However, it was still challenging because of students' experience. This was the first project that they did distantly. And although we say that our students are digital natives, their IT skills are limited, and by now we already know that. So also speaking about such things as with whom I'm in the group, and do I know that person well, or maybe I'm not used to work with that person in a group or whatever. These all were factors that affected the way how the project was carried out, and also results. At this age, friendships are highly evaluated, so it all had great effect. However, a task project helped students to learn from each other, and the results showed that those groups where students worked together on correcting texts managed to notice and fix more mistakes than those students that worked individually. And by now you already understood that they had to identify and correct mistakes in the given text. To be honest, it might be, the fact is that some of these texts were too complicated for these students, so I admit my fault. However, in general, students succeeded well. However, in some cases, mistakes were identified but not corrected, and this way emphasizing the tension between the concepts language as skill and language as knowledge. So, and then in the third stage, students had to write their opinions about their group work experience. And to be honest, this was the most rewarding stage for me, because here they already showed that they understand that writing is really a way of communication. But before we had this preparation lesson where also inquiry learning was used to develop students' understanding of what the expected outcome was. And written students' work showed that they have understood the importance of text organization, as well as a sequence of writing assignments had helped to ensure knowledge transfer from one assignment to another. And to conclusions, the inductive approach to introducing grade 5 students to formal writing in English has developed their writing skills. And furthermore, not only scores for the writing assignments are higher, but also students' motivation to write those assignments have increased, as well as attitude towards writing has changed. And we all know that developing writing skills is a demanding process, and therefore it is crucial that students understand the importance of writing and can witness their progress. And we also know that it is very important that students receive feedback, and mostly I think they also receive feedback for their written works. However, we have to teach them how to use this feedback and to refer to this feedback when they write their next assignment. And faster results can be observed addressing task achievement and text organization skills. Improvements in vocabulary, spelling, and grammar take longer time, of course. And it is crucial that students understand that writing is a way of communication, not just a tool to do grammar exercises. And that is something that we should teach them. And the inductive approach is appropriate to teach both understanding of what writing is and skill of writing. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Elvira. I